Welcome to part 6 of the Super Mario Galaxy Let's Play. Galaxy. Yeah, I meant to say Galaxy, people. That's a great way to start off the old... I did it again. Oh well, at least my battery's only 2 bars, and now we are heading on to Battle Rock Galaxy. Our first mission, Battle Rock Barrage. Barrage, tomato, we get the point. It's the first mission of this galaxy, so there. So Battle Rock Galaxy is pretty much, well, it has a rock and music piece. Yes, that's always swell. There's really not much to talk about when it comes to this section right here. These little platforms can be a little annoying, especially since stuff like that can happen. But then again, it can really happen on any sort of planet, you know, with the whole mad space syndrome and how the game will think you're going in circles, so your controls are going to be all messed up. But that really happens very rarely in this game. I never really found too much of a problem with those, well, controls. Again, as I mentioned that. Alright, and I think we're heading into the part that's actually worth talking about, at least in this mission. Alright, so basically we have a little elevator section coming up, and well, we're not at that mission yet, like, we're not at the purple coin mission. Also, this galaxy hosts probably one of the most infamous missions in the game, but it's not... well, would be one of the most infamous missions in the game. But it's not at that galaxy. And I just rotated, and that's my punishment for being skillful. Or at least just rotating the around the entire elevator. Basically, during this elevator section, we have to manipulate gravity, although I'm just jumping over the electrical barriers. You obviously want to avoid the cannonballs, and the electric balls that are surrounding the platform, or that are on the side right there. Okay, so you basically want to time, or at least on your first time playing, you might want to time in when you want to go, well, on the underside, so you don't get electrocuted. Oof. Wow, I'm tired. Yeah, sorry that there was no part on Shadow the Hedgehog yet. And I decided to do a little guest commentary. And, well, I don't think he showed up. The guy's probably tired. I'm giving him a break even though he hasn't really done anything yet. But it'll happen. It'll happen, guys. I'm showing y'all 10 playthroughs, damn it. I'm dedicated. I am certainly dedicated. One of those players. Or at least LPers. Okay, if any of you guys are wondering when I'll get to other games, like RPGs, guys, that's not gonna be for a long time. The reason why I say that is because RPGs aren't really my sort of thing. Like, I basically suck at those. I gave games like Paper Mario 1 and Final Fantasy 7 a shot. Paper Mario's good and Final Fantasy 7's okay, I guess. But in Final Fantasy 7, I just really don't like the whole... Sorry. I just didn't really like the whole archaic random battle system. That's something, because I didn't really I'm strictly more of a platformer, puzzle sort of guy, so I'm not really, well, I'll play the occasional third-person shooter, but you know what I mean. But in terms of getting into other Mario games, like, will I ever get to games like Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Sunshine? Absolutely, guys. There's nothing stopping me from actually playing those games. I'm not gonna 100% Super Mario Sunshine, but I'll get to those eventually. Will I get to the Genesis 2D Genesis Sonic games? Absolutely. Only I can only beat Sonic 1. Ugh, I'm horrible at 2D games. Sometimes I can't even beat Death Egg Zone. I can't even beat Sonic 2's Death Egg, the final zone in the game. Same goes for 3 and Knuckles, and I think my Genesis may have died on me. So that sucks. I actually thought about for Generations, just you know, after playing through that one level, well, like after I beat Green Hill Zone, both acts, I would have played through the original Green Hill on the Genesis. And I could still do that. I mean, Sonic 1 is ported everywhere. But games like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I can only get I think I only saw a port on the Mega Collection and the Xbox Live Arcade. And I'm not really that big of a fan of Xbox, so I'm gonna let that pass. Wow, I'm a Sonic fan. Okay, so we have Hungry Luma here. And, I think we're doing the secret mission first. Oh, God. What is it? No, God. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah, even though this is probably one of the most infamous mission in the game, it's not in that galaxy. We won't head into that mission in a later galaxy. In fact, in terms of this one, I actually beat this one on my first try. I was actually able to beat this mission on my very first try. Well, not my very first try, but in terms of this playthrough, yeah. Basically, we just simply have to blow up all the trash. The thing is here, though, you have to use bombs, obviously. Hence why I said blowing up the trash. The bombs take a little bit to explode. I think it's 10 seconds. I think it's actually 8 seconds is when they explode. The best advice I can give is, see those little yellow dots on the ground? That's where you're supposed to throw those bombs. Like, don't go crazy and throw the bombs everywhere. Use those little yellow spots, and you should be able to have an easier time. And in terms of blowing up the trash. And the best part is for both missions, you don't die. Like, you don't lose a life. So that's good. That would have been cruel if that actually happened. And the way you're actually supposed to get star bits, as you saw, you're actually supposed to blow up the capsule that has the rainbow star, and then decimate all the rolling chain chomps, and you'll get a bunch of star bits by doing that. Because you're not going to get that many star bits at the very beginning of the stage. So you have to rely on these chain chomps in order to, you know, get the star bits you need. Oh, God. Ah. Wow. I am really late for doing this. I'm doing this voiceover at like 7:01 as I'm looking at my alarm clock. And my God, I am tired. I want to go to bed. I have to get out of the house and forced to go to the theater. Or probably to a movie that I'm probably not looking forward to. I'm not really a movie guy. I mean, I like movies, don't get me wrong. It's just, I'm just not that big of a fan of movies. At least modern movies. I'm not really into the whole modern horror aspect. And I thought about looking at the classic horror games. Or classic horror movies, I should say. But whenever I go... whenever it comes to horror or stuff, of asking what I know nothing. I really know nothing. And ask my friend who actually helps me in creating these sprite videos, as you see on my channel. And Yeah, he's pretty much the horror guy. Speaking of the sprite videos, I want to ask a question. What is your opinions on all the sprite videos I make? Or at least I made. Or at least, I hope that you actually watch those sprite videos. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Oh, for your answer. Don't be shy, guys, even though I'm just a newbie. Just a newbie, guys. What's the point of that black hole in the distance? Like, what is the point of that? Because whenever you fire your cannons in the wrong direction, you're gonna die as a result, but there's no black hole animation. So, what's the point? I never actually failed the section though. Like, I never actually hit these, little panels. I think that might have been in there so the black hole will suck you in, I don't know. Don't want to yawn again. It's like, it's not super late, cause like, as I said, it was like 7:01, and at the time of this recording, it's great. I'm just crazy tired. Just crazy tired. Although there are some other games I would like to try out, like games like Crazy Taxi. I actually did play the Nights games. It's both Nights on the Sega Saturn and the Wii game, the Wii sequel, which it's not as good. It's just not as good. Funny enough, I actually did plan this as one of the 2007 games, Wii titles I was gonna play for this channel. It was either this, Nights, or Secret Rings. Cause you know, you have to have a Mario and Sonic. And as far as Zelda goes, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna play the Zelda games. I do plan on getting to games like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I'm so close to beating that game. It was some side quest, man. In terms of what's happening on screen, in order to rescue this Luma, we basically have to spin the top man and into the electric fence where it should be disabled, and you get to progress. So it's basically a sort of beat all the enemies, but not quite. Like, you have to do a certain thing or prerequisite in order to get things moving. At least it's not a beat 'em up. Like, I don't mind beat 'em ups, but when it comes to games like Unleashed Wii, like, the Wii version of Unleashed has its strong points, but god damn, way too many fights. And every time you're in a battle, you cannot progress until you beat all the enemies. At least in the HD version, and for the most part, you can at least progress. Like, you can ignore the enemies. That's something I would rather do, so I'm not wasting time. To the right of me, it was basically, you had to find was the legit way of getting up there, but thanks to speedrunning tactics, I can easily just go up that wall. Well, because when you're in the blue area, you go upside down, and when you go in the red area, then you're in normal gravity. There's gonna be a lot of sections where it utilizes gravity. Especially like there's one gravity switching segment in everyone's favorite Galaxy, which actually is I don't know if I should say ripoff off of Crazy Gadget, but it definitely reminds me of Crazy Gadget now that I think about it, even though I didn't grow up with Adventure 2, but now whenever I see that mission, I always think of Crazy Gadget. Crazy Gadget. I gotta stop getting my Sega vibes. Well, then again, and there's really nothing I could say about Nintendo. But I think now we're heading into the boss. The boss fight of this particular galaxy and another galaxy. This is Top Maniac. Basically, you have to stomp on the top of him, then spin him into the electric fence, lather, rinse, repeat, and you should win the fight. In the third phase, he will send out the, red Topman, but it's not that hard. And as you saw, I just decimated that guy. I destroyed that guy. His day. I've definitely destroyed him. But I wonder why we're continuing on with this. Do we have another challenge? Do we have another extra mission that we have to do? Yes sirree, because we now have a new comet, the Daredevil comets. Oh joy. One of my least favorite comets in the entire game. It really depends on the boss, but basically, Daredevil comets are, you have to beat the boss. Usually it's boss fights, but the point is, you have to beat the boss without any damage. So basically, you have to do a no-hit run. And good God. Just good God. That's my first playthrough. It was frustrating. And I'm gonna be sure that there's gonna be a lot of deaths. Especially when it comes to later bosses. Specifically the third dome. Which I also hated my first playthrough. As well, although nothing will beat the purple coins. But that is it for part 6, guys. In the next part, we're once again going to be tackling our small set of galaxies and our Bowser stage. So see ya then.